Yeah, as I told you before, now we are going to see the sounds of the vowels. I mean, the vowel sounds is better saying that way. We are going to see it, and then we're going to see the short vowel sound, the long vowel sound. I would like to remind you of that in English, the vowel sounds they have sometimes it has more than seven, nine sounds. But here I am not going to cover all of them. No. I am going to basically work on two, like the short and long ones. I'll show you some of them, but I'm not going to just be focused on all of them. I think it's better just to start slowly, as I said, one step at a time, and then we're going to start seeing like the sounds of the vowels. As I said, vowel has two sounds. It's not really true. Again, I have to say, but I'm going to work on two sounds basically. And then after that, we can really vary a little bit more. And then you're going to see the sounds of the vowels in the different combination. Because as you say, English, it depends on the word. Like oranging, you can really vary the pronunciation. I can give you a very simple example. Like when you have a O-U-R, this word can be sound. I mean, if you have a word with this O-U-R, can we have this or sound like a pour? Can you pour me some water? Can you pour me some water? Pour. It's a P-O-U-R. But at the same time, if I change this P for S, it's gonna be non sour. It's gonna be sour, or vice versa. I can't say sour, and when you see the verb to pour, you're gonna say power, and it's not power because power is Power. So we're going to see this kind of variations, and you're going to see that English is like this. So some people say, like, why you have this kind of variations? I don't know, or English doesn't make any sense. I think makes a lot of sense, but it has to deal with the word, came from. It's kind of stuff. We can't really, I can't really go in details or explain more about this, but I don't think it's worth it, and I'm going to show the differences. Even if you have the same spelling, depends on the word, you are going to vary. And the best way to do that, so is just to memorize. I always say to the students one thing, try not to learn individual words. What do you mean individual words? Isolated words. I think it's the best, it's not individual. Blah, 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 blah. It's gonna be good. Anyway, isolated words. I think you should really learn sentences, or if you want to say the American way, sentences. So if you learn a new word, for instance, you're gonna write it down. You're gonna say this word. You're gonna use it and use it until you get used to it, until you feel comfortable, until you feel confident to use this word. After being confident, you can try to see another way to do that. So it's just like kids. No, when you teach something to kids, you don't want to expect kids to say like, "Can I use this word in another context like this, this?" We can't even explain that. But normally they learn one word, and then they understand the word in the context. They keep like using it and using it and using it, and that's it. Then they can learn another word, and that the way it goes. I think we should really know you have to learn one thing at a time. Haste makes waste. Yeah, that's the expression. Haste makes waste. So you don't have to rush. Calm down. It's one step at a time. Calm down. Well, this is not part of the class right now, but it counts. Did you see it that I said calm down? Two words. Words sometimes people can't really pronounce in the wrong way because they want to pronounce like all the letters. And this word, for instance, say calm. But you have the letter L. It's not pronounced. So say calm down, man, calm down. So Fabio, but I have a question. This is something important I would like to say to the students. If I say calm down, you think the guy's going to understand something else? No. Of course not. No. Don't be worried about that. I'm telling you here, grammatically speaking, the right way to pronounce the word. But you don't need to be stressed out and say like, oh my God. No, they will understand. They make an effort. Based on the context, they will understand that. But the word should be pronounced like calm. No L. Yeah. The L letter, we say, is it's tricky sometimes, you know. We're going to have a class about that as well. But that's it. So, but now we're going to go to the short and long vowel sounds. And then you can see here, oh, that's me. That's a beautiful picture of me. Like, actually, it's a lot of hair, you know. Would you like to have more hair like this? And look at this, cowboys. And my beard is so black there. And I got a blue eyes. Wow. Look handsome on there. What do you think of my picture there? Well, anyway, so here we are going to see the short vowel sound. So in English, as I said, normally when it comes to vowel, we have short and long. And here I brought you some words, some example of short vowel sounds. The first one, as you can see that, you have that phonetic symbols. Fabio, how do I know if I have the letters or phonetic symbols? That's a good question, right? Well, technically speaking, when you have the letter between two slash marks, like slash, you don't have the letter anymore. You have this sound. So that this is how we can make the difference between the letters and the sounds of letter. There you have the first case. I told you that the letter A is a vowel. It has short sound, which is a or ah. It depends. American ah, British ah. And in this case there, you have the example of a cat. This is American, you know, cat. British would go like cat. Like we say, oh, that's too bad. Oh, that's too bad. This is American. British would go like, that's too bad. A bad man. So this is that. Fabio, is there any problem if I use American way of speaking or British way? No, there is no problem at all. If you prefer the British way, there is no problem at all. Man, it's English. There is no like just two ways to speak, like British and American. Nowadays, you have to speak English with many people from different places in the world, right? So, and then that's really challenging sometimes, really challenging, because sometimes the students have meetings with Chinese, Japanese people, and I'm not saying that Japanese people have problem with English. No, there are some Japanese people who can speak English very well. I have already spoken with them. You know, but it's not really a matter of being from a place that you cannot really speak English. It's not that. It's a matter of really study and improve their English. That's it. But sometimes it's challenging, you know, because they want to speak English using their mother tongues as a reference. Use the accent. I had a problem. Once. I had to work on some like projects, engineering project. And there was actually a group of Japanese engineers there. Then I had to translate the documents. Man, it was really challenging, you know, because the two engineers who had arrived before the meeting started, they could not speak English. I mean, they really spoke bad English and with a very bad accent intonation. It was really difficult. I was saved by the bell because of some minutes after. Later, another Japanese engineer arrived and he could speak English. So then we could have a way, you know, to understand each other. That was better. So then we have to talk about projects. That's it. Sometimes the students say, oh my God, I had a meeting today with people from, and then they say the country. Oh, I had a problem. And then sometimes it's not the students' problems. Sometimes it's, you know, it's like these way of speaking that people don't care much. Sometimes we want to be perfect. We want to sound perfect. It's nice because the more you're trying to make it better, the more you need to study, and then you're going to improve more. This is nice. This is the spirit. But some people don't care. That's it. And there's nothing wrong with that. But as I told you, it's a and ah. So you can say cat or cat. But there's a short, open sound. The other example is and it sounds like in Portuguese, So here you have bad. That makes the difference between bad and bad. Normally when you have this short sound, short A sound, it goes like it's open, it's longer, like a bad. It's different from bad. And then you have the letter I, which has like basically these two sounds, which was short ones, is E. And this is one that you have to pay attention to. You should say sit. Sit down. Pay attention to the difference. Pay attention to the difference. I say sit down. Sit down. This is a command, of course. It's should sit down, please. Sit down. So the person sits. Sits. But I can use the noun. Oh, please come over here and have a seat. Now I'm using a different sound. You see? Seat is S-E-A-T, but I said seat. If I use the verb, say sit. So be careful. And then you have this is the back open made vowel sound, which is this is very British would go like oh, like hot, just hot, hot, hot. American will say, they really open the sound more like that's hot. That's really hot here. Hot. So you should be careful. As I said, I am going to basically focus on short and long sounds, and you are going to see more details of it. The other one is the sound of the word, for example, the letter U. The U in this case, when you have the short sounds, it's like cut, cut, cut. So this is the sound, cut. You know, you have this is a short open mid for vowel sound. You know, and what's the difference between that? So you say like and then the other one was a put. Similar, right? Similar. Do you know what? Sometimes you have a word in a sentence that when you put in a sentence and you know you can't really make that difference, and it's very common in English. We're going to see sometimes when you flap the last word like D or T, and you can only understand that based on the context. You know, I know I'm changing from vowels to consonant, but it's pretty much the same. I'm thinking of an example just to give you based on the vowel sound, but let's go to this example that I'm telling you. So, for example, I can say seed, that's just like E, and I say seed with this letter T at the end, which basically has the sound. But I am going to think of a food for bird, a bird, yeah, like which is seed. But look, seed, S-E-E-D. Yeah, the E-E sounds like E-A most of the time. E. So seed, seed. Man, sometimes it's so hard to understand the difference between them in a sentence. You can only make the difference based on the context. I give you an example. I am right here. Someone's got to knock on the door, and gonna say, hey, hey, is that you here, cowboys? So come on in, have a seat. I'm saying, come over here, or come on in, or come on in. It's come inside. Now, come on in, come inside the room, come on in and have a seat. So I'm saying seat, which is basically a chair that he can sit on. Like, so come on in and have a seat. I want to talk to you. Put in a sentence. Then I'm having a conversation. So like, do you have a pet? He says, yeah, Joe, I have a pet. What's your pet? A bird. No, a bird. Do you put like seed for your bird? You put seed for your bird? Do you expect me to say, do you put a seed? No, it's a seed, which is actually food for bird, like S-E-E-D. So it's normally the last letter can be flapped. Like you flap the last letter, and this is very common. Not only for consonant, but also vowels. Sometimes it happens, something like this. It depends. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave your like, your comment, and to hit the notification bell so that you can have more up-to-date. And do not forget to share with your friends. That could be useful for them as well. Leave in the comments what you'd like to see next. See you next time.